Okay, so let's just then implement what I explained, right? So in the type 1 and type 2 are exactly pretty much the same, except that type 2 has an else statement. So let's just open this Python shell. And by the way, the good thing about this video lecture is what? You can stop at any time, right? And you can replay if you just understand the concept that I explained, right? You can stop and replay. And another thing is the best way to, this is something that I already emphasized on the first day. Best way to learn coding is to code something. So please just don't sit and watch. Open the Python shell and follow my example. Okay. So open Python shell and the file, new file. And since type 1 and type 2 if statement they are pretty much the same, I'll just implement type 2. The example is, let's say the grade is equal to input, enter your grade. This is what user is going to enter the grade, right? Let's say 80, 90, or 85. But since this input is going to return a string, we have to convert it into an integer, right? Because grade is an integer value. So int. So if the grade is, let's say, let's say 70 or above, actually you can put this. That means greater or equal to 70. Let's do that. And then you have to put a colon, and then you have to, okay. If you put a colon, the Python automatically recognize that this is what? This is if statement, this is a compound statement. So when you type enter, automatically they put what? They put the indentation for you. So the grade, so they all say print, congratulations, congrats. And then the next statement, which is belong to what? This first if statement, right? So that's why you have indentation here. And then print, I'll say passed. Then, if you put the else, you have to use a backspace. So else, and then you put colon. And then when you type enter, it automatically put the indentations. And then print, sorry, then print, failed, and then print what? Please take this course next quarter. Okay. Or to repeat this course next quarter. I'll just repeat. Okay, so this is the implementations of the second type of if statement, if and else, right? And let's just compile this, run this Python code, run, and then run module. So I'll say document, C, and then Python source code. I'll just say if statement 1, right? And then save. Okay, so enter your grade. I'll just say this time, let's say what, 77. Then congrats, right? So what happened is this greater and equal to 70, because greater is 77, so 77 is greater than 70. So this Boolean expressions, right, is evaluated to be a true. So that's why these two statements is the statements are executed, because great if. But let's just run this program. And if I just say 55, for example, and then this 55 is greater than or 70, no, right? So this becomes what? This becomes false. And that's why it's going to execute this else statement. Okay. Another thing that I want to show is I said indentation is very important in Python, right? So if, let's say, I ignore this indentation in the first statement after else, right? Let's just try to run this module, and then they said what? Expected indented block. So you have to have a proper indentations, okay? And of course, if you want to put more indentations, it's fine, right? But you have to be, everything has to be aligned. It's better to be aligned, okay? So let's say what this is. Okay, if you look at the Python default editor, this is what? Column 6, right? Column 6. Can you see the column 6 right here at the bottom? So that means everything has to be what? Aligned with columns at the 6th column, so the column 6. When I run this, it'll be fine. Let's say 90, then of course I pass the class. Okay. Now let's take a look at the third example. Right. Third example is this example. Right. So let's just file, new file, and then what? Let's say grade is equal to int input, enter your grade, okay, and then what? And then if grade is equal to or the greater or equal to 90, and you have to have the colon, and then say print what? A, and else elif grade is greater than or equal to 80. The print is going to be what? Print B, right? So receive a B. I'll just say A and B, and then elif grade is equal to 70, then print C, right? And then finally you must have the ELS. That's like, this is requirement. So after a series of ELF, you must have the final else. So that means if these previous conditions are not all met, right, then by default the statement in the else, right, will be executed. So print sorry, and then you did not pass, and of course you can have a multiple statement after, right? So just this time let's just write a multiple statements. Print failed, like you receive F, right? Failed. So let's just run this program. Run module. Then I'll say so here let's say if else, if what? Else if statement. else? ELIF. Okay, if else if. I mean, you can choose any file name you want. And then enter your grade. I'll say what? Let's say 85. Then I receive B, right? Oh, by the way, I made a mistake. It should be 70, not the 79. Okay. So let me just end my lecture here.